Hello everyone, this is a Greyshot 117 here, bringing another CH2 replay. After an amazing game, after an amazing game where I did high-level players, and then I sent out a thing saying, hey, submit your replays, I was once again reminded of how memey some of your games could be. And oh boy, that last game was a meme. But let's see what this game is. Is it going to be a high-level play? Is it going to be a high-level meme? We shall see. I should also mention that one replay I got, it was actually looking for, I'm like, okay, this is cool. And then literally I saw a guy's name, I'm like, I can't blur that. I can't, I don't want to spend the time to blur this man's name because it is atrocious. So, if you're playing with friends, or if you're playing with someone that has a really fucked up name, like really racist, maybe don't send it because I may not showcase it. Just I'm not trying to be too political, but holy fuck, I've never seen a more like fucked up name. And this one, which is Lieutenant Cunt Destroyer, is not as bad. I actually think that's funny because I think that's a. Hold on. If I recall correctly, that is what is that reference to? That is something. That is a comedy. Hold on. Was that Game Night? I think it could be Game Night that this was a reference to, but I could be wrong on that. I just know that is a meme of a reference of a comedy that came out last year. Anyway, we also have Steve and Dave Reese. Thank you, by the way, Lieutenant, for submitting a replay. We have Stoic, and we have Sebastian. So hopefully, this is a good game. It's 2v2 on Linux, so it's a nice wide open map. Looks like we have some medium ranks. Oh, God. Well, on one team we do. So if these OKW players don't win by a landslide, then again, that just also proves my point that rank doesn't matter. So, British Infantry keeping on the pressure against the OKW player and actually doing a damn good job in pushing him back very quickly without taking any casualties for the British player. So good job on his part. British really focusing on that forward firepower, just pushing on through. Flank from the south, though, coming on in, and it might be too much for these OKW force. The British forces to hold off. Though I think the. Nope, he's not even close. Never mind. I thought there were additional forces. British infantry needs to pull the fuck back before it takes cat. Oh, it's gonna run right into the Volk squad. Oh no, or past it. Run. Oh, it lived. Good for him. He's like, I'm so lucky. This guy, on the other hand, he's not gonna be able to jump that fence. Oh, damn it. His thought process was, if I retreat, I'm going to retreat right in the path of storms. I need to quickly jump that fence, and he wasn't able to. British infantry pulling on back because, yeah, not a good idea to fight those guys. OKW really has a pretty good, strong start with a bunch of very potent infantry if used correctly. Though it looks like because the Germans are so heavily focused in the north, Lieutenant's able to push down south pretty effectively, so good for him. Also, just a quick reminder, make sure you submit those replays. Go to my Gmail or go to ch2.org/shoutcast to submit replays. You can do so to me. Also, there's replays for a bunch of other content creators, such as, I believe, I could be wrong on this, I think AE and Tightrope and a few other guys have forums on there for replays. I could be wrong on that, but I definitely know there's other CH2 YouTubers / Twitch streamers that have their own thing on there. So absolutely can be a place where you can submit to me, and you can also submit to other people as well. And I'm sure one of us will take a look at your replays. Any case, because I've had that happen where I did a replay. I'm like, this is cool, and then literally I go look up another YouTuber. I'm like, oh, that's the replay I just did. Well, I'll be out in 5 days. If you're wondering why 5 days, early access on Patreon, and I have like. This will be like the third video I've done, so I'm literally just going to record it, edit it, get it rendered, and just upload all 3 to Patreon. So there's going to be a blast of content coming out soon. I'm going to try to get as much stuff as possible done. British infantry coming around to provide a flanking maneuver on that British Vickers machine gun, which should have probably turned at this rate. I mean, also the British infantry should probably move to cover. They're really trying to focus fire, but good grenade. Oh my god, wipes out 3 squads and runs right into a fucking Vickers. So goodbye to that squad. Oh my god, that was brutal. Well, there's definitely some body parts out of that. That's for sure. Meanwhile, the Soviet forces coming around. Oh my god, the Soviets are going to pick them off on the retreat. Oh, there goes another one. Another one. Bots of dust. And another one goes, and another one goes, and another one bites dust. And now the Allies are going to have a majority of this map. They're going to get a ton of resources. The Germans are still doing fine, but munition-wise, look at that, 58 to 26. And we're seeing more and more capture points now being handed over to the Allies. So very awesome job in that regard to the Allies for taking over that entire section. And actually pushing back the Axis. I mean, to be fair, we look at Stoic. I mean, to be fair, great name. At least the thing that I can think of immediately is How to Train Your Dragon. Penal charge right here probably would have kept them back from going near you for a little bit longer. No, Penal's still holding the line. There we go. That's a... Oh, no, you're not retreating, are you? Bye. Oh, there goes a few men. And a truck. But, you know, I feel like the truck's owner is long gone from now. Volk squad moving on in to capture the point. Conscripts though going to counter. Though again, as long as they get some heavy cover, they should be able to beat those conscripts. How the fuck did a branch up? Why is a branch there being shot? There's a Soviet guy there that's drunk and just firing at the tree. It's like, oh my god, the Germans have a mech. Fire at will. And the Germans are like, why is that guy firing at a tree? All right, cool. Whatever. It's like, it's the Soviets. It's like the Americans. Oh, we have a full medical supply, you know, that we can have. Soviets, here's some vodka. That's your medical supply. But in any case, the British coming up with some additional infantry support equipment, such as Vickers machine guns. We have a T-gun being made. Good idea, in case the enemies deploy some light armor, which is definitely a possibility. They don't have a lot of fuel, but they could very quickly, in the next 2 minutes, get a Luke's, which can be very bad, again, versing a lot of these players. Again, the conscripts could have AT or you know, penals with PTRS rifles, but from what I can see, none of them have either gotten the upgrade or gotten the ability. So, again, at least the British players also being proactive and be like, I need a form of AT. Good idea. Like I said, always get AT by the 10-minute mark, because I literally in the last game, a guy got a Panzer IV before the 10-minute mark. So it's entirely possible to get armor before then. So be on the lookout, be on watch, and keep an eye out for it. But in any case, Volk squad's doing a decent job pushing back Penals. Penals deciding, fuck it, we'll get in the building. And actually, there's a problem. You see these guys? They're all by the window. They're shooting at one guy, and that's the only guy that can fire at them. Now, the Penals are like, okay, we'll all kind of come out and just open fire. Plus, you have Penals coming in for the flank. So, yeah, that Volk squad really needs to run. Now, with that fuel going to the Allies are once again just going to out-resource the Germans. Germans still have additional forces coming in. Good, oh, there we go. Again, this pushes them back and makes them refocus, which pushes them out of the heavy cover, which might allow you, and especially because they went negative cover, you the ability to just knock them out. So, very nice indeed. Additional troops coming in. But that's also Stefan up here is just taking over the territory. So really good plays by the Allies, especially for being such low-level guys. They're doing decently well. They're doing really well, honestly. True, they did open that area so they can come up, but I mean, like, in all honesty, if the Axis are spending that many men to just get one resource, it's not going to be as beneficial as them taking over, like, a quarter of the map or something along those lines. But let's see what happens. Stefan, though, seeing his ally in you know, having some trouble, he's sending over a detachment of forces to go deal with it, and good for him. Also, I love how this entire area has just been, like, closed up. If the Germans said anything this way, it's fucked. It would even make this better is if he would have got, like, a forward assembly, not forward assembly, sorry, a Bofor set up via advanced emplacements. There we go. That's a word. And kind of put it here. Now, you'll see a lieutenant went with the NKVD. I believe this did get nerfed slightly, but it is still incredibly potent with the anti-tank Overwatch, because essentially it's Overwatch, but only focuses on armor and will really fuck up armor. So you really have to watch out. We have a cache over here, and conscripts are coming over to assist. With bullets, it's going to take a little bit of time to break up this cache, so it should be enough time for the Soviets to bring over additional forces to help. He also has a commissar coming on in, which should provide nice supportive actions to the conscript if you can get there in time. With hold the line, which again boosts defense, and not one step back, which, you know, allows them to do a little bit more damage. So, you know, pretty damn good. Now wait, is this only increases target squad? Okay. Now, I can also do it with the penal troops too, but I was hoping the conscript squad can, you know, just hold on a little bit longer. I think it can do it for all, right? Yes, I'm going to say yes to that. Yes. It also has fear propaganda, which is a really good ability to make stuff disappear. You'll probably see this a lot with the Sturm Officer, you know, forcing people to retreat. But, any case, if you can start using those abilities, that could really help. It's a more micro-intensive unit to kind of start boosting stuff, but like I said, it can very well and quickly turn the tide of the battle. Vickers, unfortunately, being overwhelmed by the machine gun, I think, and AT gun needs to pull back. Now, these guys are redeploying because they realize, oh, our flank's being outdone by this guy, so we really do need to pull back. This guy still hasn't deployed any armor of any type, which is surprising. He does have medics, which he put back at base, so at least it's going to heal. And you can see here he did for both, so they're going to go back and forth for healing. That's pretty good. Vickers had to retreat because... Oh, sorry, not Vickers. The infantry had to retreat from the Vickers because they got suppressed from the Vickers flank. Good for them. Germans, though, counterattacking in the south, and they do have armor. The problem is the Soviets... Oh, never mind. We have PTRS rifles, so they actually do have a decent form of AT. Plus, they have armor being deployed, a T-34 by the, going to be about the 12-minute mark. That should push back the Lukes. That should honestly push them back. So I am hopeful. I am very hopeful for that. Any case, MG being destroyed. We're engineers trying to give it their all, but again, no cover, so it's not going to do well. The AT gun needs to retreat, otherwise it's going to be overwhelmed. So yeah, it looks like the Allies are starting to make a little more mistakes. You really want to make sure that stuff has a good defense. Unfortunately, it just doesn't look like they really have a great defensive line. Stefan, have you gotten the additional upgrade? You have. So I'm actually curious what your plan is. Are you planning to upgrade the anvil or the hammer so that way you can get better armor to kind of overwhelm? Like, what you going to do? T-34 coming on in. They could always do... Oh, man. PTRS rifles just rip that Lukes apart. But that T-34 is going to do quite a bit against infantry. They could try to do a mass Panzerfaust, but I don't think it's going to do as much as they hope. And if this T-34 is smart, he'll try to run these guys over and just push them toward the buildings. This is a great example of, like, use your terrain to your advantage. And if the enemy can't physically move over, then yes, they're going to be squished by a tank, which I love doing. It is one of my favorite things to do in this game is just see a blob and be like, okay, full speed ahead, men, run him over. And it's worked out quite a bit. Now he's going to keep trying to Panzerfaust. At this point, I think that's kind of a waste because the T-34, it's not going to kill it. It's just going to do a slightly more damage. It would be more applicable if this thing was barely alive, or I don't know, like they had AT in the sector. That would definitely work, but they don't. This guy has penal troops, but it's still pretty far away. And the T-34 is just going to back up. Plus, they're closer to the Soviet base, so we can easily heal and then deploy more guys. Plus, the Commissar is still there. And while you wouldn't necessarily think this is a great frontline unit, because again, there's only one of them, this Commissar unit is actually pretty damn good. I like how there's a female medic there. That's actually kind of funny. That's pretty freaking cool. When people got upset for no women in the war, and yet Company of Heroes 2 is like, yeah, we have female snipers and we have female support groups and armed medics. Okay, so real quick, for Battlefield 5, they did that earnings call saying the single player, it was disappointing. It's like, yeah, the single player wasn't great. I mean, like, it's a Battlefield single player, and you really like made this action movie sequence in Norway that, like, again, I haven't not played it, but the research I did on the Norway one specifically, I'm only going to talk about that one. Oh, good grenade, could actually do quite a bit of damage. Oh, so close, and body parts go flying. It's weird. They put Norwegian resistance fighters in for British commandos that did almost the exact same like action that they did. But the British commandos, I think, were brought up that's like it would have been a lot cooler because they never fired a shot, but they completed their action. And then a previous commando squad died. So how amazing would it be if you played the first commando squad, lost in a firefight trying to fight overwhelming odds, and it sets up the mission being like, we need you guys to succeed, otherwise we are fucked. That would have been that's a way you start it. But again, it's weird that they went with that angle. Literally, there's like the movie called like Battle of Cedarteal, but literally, it really should be named after the female sniper. But it deals with the female sniper that literally killed like 300 Germans before becoming like a spokeswoman for the Soviets during the war in America, and actually became good friends with the president's wife. So, yeah, that's a whole amazing story that you could have done. But no, we're just gonna make up stuff. That's cool. It's one of those weird things. We want to be historically accurate, but not. Okay. You can take liberties. I don't mind taking liberties. Like, Bad Company 2 took liberties about the Japanese creating a super weapon. That's fine. Because it's not historically accurate. But it's still, it was having fun with itself. That's why. Any case, in the meantime of me saying all that, you may have noticed the British pretty much lose everything. Because he built a forward assembly, and he thought he could hold out there, but it just wasn't the case. Now the Germans are literally just taking over British weapons that have been left behind. And you know what? I don't blame them. Stefan has also been kind of interesting. And apparently, from what the talks were, they are communicating, but I just can't see it because of how this game's currently going. Or, like, design where I can't see, like, team messages, or I believe I can't. But in any case, apparently they're communicating with each other, which is good. Again, if you're going to have a random player, always try to communicate with them, or at least see if they will allow for communication. Because that's always a lot better for you guys to communicate. Unfortunately, it looks like the British player is definitely having some issues. But, yeah, the Germans have retaken over a good chunk of the map. Resource-wise have dropped for the Allies and sword for the Axis. Hopefully, they end up doing pretty well. Or the Allies can counterattack. The fuel's right here. There is an MG here, but I think they should be able to take it out. But it's one of those situations where it does kind of suck. Greyshot just rips up half the building. So... you know. Now, we do have some troops on the behind. Again, they're waiting for the tank to clear it out. Good move. Really good move. Anyway, conscripts on standby. Volk squad's also on standby. And T-34 coming around the flank to hammer this position. Oh, nice. Push back the Sturm. And yeah, even though Stoic is doing great up north, Sebastian's not doing great down south. He's actually losing quite a lot. He has a... oh my god, please put down the Panzer headquarters. Please! Please, I want to see it get destroyed. Anyway, for some reason, this allied point has not been decapped. I have no idea why. And this British player is still losing everything trying to keep this thing alive. I have no idea why. Okay, just stop. Just stop. Oh, is this gonna die? Okay. Cool. Additional Fallschirmjäger now also coming in. So, yeah, Stoic is, like, just on a freaking roll. He's taking over a lot of the British equipment. Stop sending in men. You've done fine before, but they have too much. There's too much. You have 500 munitions, though, so, yeah, keep throwing grenades. But stop. Stop. Anyway, finally, this guy's like, oh, yeah, we should probably grab this point. Panzer headquarters deciding, I'm going to guard the north. Because that seems like a good place. The Soviets are scary down south. We're not going there. But because the Soviets have down south, and because they're able to take all the territory, they now have a ton of munitions coming in. So right now the Axis actually are really low on munitions compared to the Allies, who are going to soar, especially with those two last points being captured. Meanwhile, again, we still have two T-34s, one being keeled, I believe. Yes, okay. And most likely what's going to happen is probably a Soviet counter-assault up through the south, up into the north to kind of do a flanking maneuver. I think the Soviets may have initial success because we've seen that these guys aren't that great in terms of like individual micro, but unfortunately what I'm probably going to see is still a limited victory and or a forced retreat for the Soviets because they will not be unable to survive so many German forces coming down. But we'll see. Anyway, vigorous machine gun being deployed. Probably should have been in the building, but whatever. Soviets giving it their all. Looks like the Germans started the fight. And yeah, initial success. German forces retreating. But we have a lot of Germans coming back into the fight. So will that change things? We shall see. So far, Soviets have pretty much lost almost no men during the initial assault, while 3 squads had to force retreat. Volk squad trying to get a Panzerfaust on here, but it's not going to do anything because it's 1 Panzerfaust. There we go. We have more troops coming in. Fortifications being placed up north. Again, holding. The second Panzerfaust could probably do something, though it looks like he's being torn apart too quickly to fire the Panzerfaust. Oh, nice shot on the Sturms. Managed to get the kill on that. And almost get the kill on that squad. Again, being smart. Actually waiting for the enemy to come to them. But unfortunately, the enemy's not bringing AT guns, so that could be a big issue. Meanwhile, T-34 is just shredding it. Just great job. Penal troops do need to retreat, though. And the T-34 needs to get the hell out of there. The flag emplacement stopping them from really doing all that great. Volk squad's coming on the flank, double Panzer. That's where you need to do a double Panzerfaust. See, this is what I mean. Again, the Soviets just outstaying their welcome. And that might fuck them, actually. Oh, no! Actually, fuck it. Never mind. Germans losing way more casualties. A T-gun decrewed. This one, again, this guy might have to throw a satchel. The conscript squad needs to retreat. Oh, there goes another Verkehrwerfer. Soviets still sticking around. Oh, my God. There goes another Volk squad. Not one step back, comrade. That's what I should call this. Not one step back. Because, holy fuck. This commissar is like, no, we will stay and fight. There's some type of special ability coming in. Oh, right. It's the Fallschirmjäger support stuff. So, they'll call in, initially, it'll call in a, yep, there it goes. Like a machine gun run, but then it'll call in a AT strafe run. So, that'll do a decent amount of damage. In any case, the airstrike's now coming on the Centaur, who's busy hitting the infantry and just being torn apart by Fallschirmjäger Panzerfaust and Volksquad Panzerfaust. He's going to retreat. The flak emplacement might get a final kill on this if it gets sight and if it gets in range. Although, again, the Centaur, especially with the Centaur firing at the planes. That's a nice crash. Again, Fallschirmjäger, oh, doesn't have enough for another Panzerfaust, though. AT strafe coming in to deal with that Centaur. I find it weird. This guy finally deploys armor and he gets a Centaur. Why? You have enough to get like a Churchill or a Comet. Meanwhile, the British are slowly coming back. I mean, look, the Germans took way too many casualties in mid. They still technically won the engagement, but I'll give it this. Lieutenant literally killed so many Germans and held the line for so long that exactly what I said. A limited success, but overall a Soviet retreat. They had to fall back. They couldn't take the overwhelming German numbers. But now the Germans, I'm assuming, are just going to reman all this stuff. So we'll see. Looks like a grenade was thrown on this. So overall, did a little bit of damage. Although strafing support coming in from the British managing to do quite a bit of damage. But in any case, a flak placement barely clinging on for dear life. Vickers machine guns taking revenge and just suppressing all the German infantry. It'd be amazing if a plane crashed right into this. Oh, they got decrewed. Oh no. Reman it, hurry! Oh my god. No, British, reman it. Man it yourselves. They're being suppressed. They're literally healing it for the British at this point. Reman it, please. 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 Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it now. Anyway, Soviets are launching an attack down south, and with a KV flamethrower, they're doing pretty damn well. Overall, though, they are kind of actually still in a pretty damn good spot. We look at victory points, and right now the Germans are losing quite a lot. The Soviets, though, coming back in. And, again, reman that flak emplacement, dude. Please. Reman. Take it. Please take it. Please. Don't leave it there. Don't leave it. What are you doing? No. Reman it. Reman it. Please. 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 Oh, my God. Anyway, the Soviet player managing to, once again, murder a German in a forest. Holy crap. If the Germans enter the forest, it's a slaughtering ground, from what I can tell. Anyway, KV flamethrower seems to be an excellent choice. And honestly, I would hate to send a Panther into this because there's so many pieces of infantry that can throw satchels or AT grenades. That Panther could be overwhelmed by an ambush very quickly, which is why this force is incredibly potent for infantry ambushes. So you really have to watch out. Any case, some Soviet forces retreated, but they still have some additional. I like how that they have a 3-star commissar. That's pretty good. Does he have any bonuses for? Oh, squad size increased by 1. Did he get another medic, or did he get oh no, just another guard troops. Okay. What else we got? We got increases expertise, increases squad's weapon accuracy, and increases range of commissar abilities. Plus we have survivability and increased rate of fire. Okay, pretty good abilities. And once again, the Soviets will retake south. Now, I'm assuming they'll do what they did last time and try to push mid and kind of force some of the Germans into the city center. That could be a lot more difficult for for the Soviets now, because Panthers, stuff like that, could maybe encircle or fire from long range. AT gun, though, firing. Get in the flak emplacement! Oh my god, they didn't get in the flak emplacement. Why? Grenades being thrown! Oh! Oh my god, yes, 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 yes! Oh, some good grenades on the German infantry, managing to do quite a bit. Flak emplacement would have been great to get in that, to actually hold off the infantry and suppress them, though the Vickers is doing what it can. British retreat! Oh my god, the British are losing so much infantry. Why are you not retreating? Why? You can retreat. Why? Why are you doing this? So, yeah. British losing, once again, everything up north. So, it's up to the Soviets to turn the tide. But he has so... Okay, first off, Lieutenant, one criticism I'll give to you. Well, you have a ton of... You're doing really well, first off. He remanded it. Of course he did. Secondly, Lieutenant, what you really should do, honestly, is mine. I feel like you could literally spend, like... You could literally place 10 mines all along this forest area to stop the Germans from coming in. You honestly could. The nice thing is, though, is at least you recaptured the star down here. So it is putting a lot more pressure on the Germans, which is really freaking good. And nice strafing support comes in. Again, ton of munitions coming in for the Allies so they can use those special abilities quite often. You could also probably have called in the Overwatch artillery to help counteract the Panther up here. So a little more team coordination probably could have done wonders for you. Anyway, let's check on Sebastian. He's gaining his own men for a counterattack down south. I think this isn't going to go well because we already see a Panther charging with no infantry support. So, by the way, if you are not, I highly recommend the guys, the Great War channel and now the World War II channel. But they're right now on the finished war, and they're talking about how the Soviets would send in tanks by themselves with the infantry far behind, and then the tanks would be overwhelmed and killed. This is a perfect example as to why, because essentially it's like, yeah, they don't have the best AT to, let's say, one-shot a Panther, or, you know, at the armor at the time, which I think would have been if it's finished versus the Soviets, it would have been like T-26s and KV-1s. They would have been fighting mostly. Great shot, by the way. But they don't necessarily need it because the penals can just ambush with satchel charges, like make the tank very hard to move and attack with, and then just encircle it. And even though they couldn't get the encirclement, the Panther is still going to be out of commission for quite some time. So that's what you get for not sending it and without any support. Now, infantry is advancing, but remember, we still have the KV flamethrower, so it's just going to push that stuff back. And yeah, he's going to instantly retreat because it's like, I don't want to be barbecued. Now, unfortunately, he did lose the penal troop to a minefield, so that is a situation where it's like, you probably shouldn't have sent the squad in, but he's more than enough manpower that I think that's okay. I don't think that's a huge deal for him to lose a squad. He should definitely not lose as many as the British, because, dear Lord, combined, the Allies have, equal to one army of the Germans, so you really have to watch out for that, because, again, if the Germans really combine arms and use their numbers really well, which also, again, surprisingly, Germans have more men than the Allies. But, yeah, it could be very, very, very bad indeed. So, Vickers machine gun probably should capture the point, but who am I to say? Also, this thing has been decrewed. So, for the love of God, Allied player, Stefan, I need you to capture this. It's like we have a guy from the meme game and a guy from an MLG game, and they combined on the same team. Yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like, you have not gotten armor. Get a crocodile, get a firefly, get a comet, get something, because really, if you got armor, you could probably do a lot more damage. Meanwhile, the Soviet player, again, getting a large portion of the map under their control. Munition-wise, they're doing great. And if they could maybe do another attack in mid where they kind of have their forces on standby and just kind of lure the Germans in for another situation and kind of hold them off, I think they'll be doing a lot better. Why are you... This guy doesn't know the definition of retreat. Finally, though, we have anti-tank Overwatch coming in, which as long as they have sightlines on this unit, the artillery will come in. If another 30 seconds, the artillery will rain down on them. So good, good, good. That'll keep it back and should allow the Allies, at least temporarily, to hold on to this. Oh, nope, Soldaten on standby, which is... Oh, finally, more Overwatch coming in. Just kill it, please. Kill it. Kill it. Do it. All right. Overall, Panthers somehow still not dying. And once again, more machine guns destroyed. At this point, if I was him, I would absolutely try to decrew all this stuff and just melt it down for fuel. Because, I mean, I think either of the OKW players could use it, and it could probably do well. One thing I'll say about the British player, he's done decent with grenades, but right now, he is so little in terms of men. He has an AT gun left. Stop getting AT guns. MGs, stop it. Stop it. You're not doing anything good. You're not good. Stop it. Anyway, the Soviet players decide, fuck it, we're going to put some more pressure on the German player. Strafing support coming in to provide additional support, and that should at least help hold back the Panthers. This Panther's already really weak. So if he brings up his infantry to support, which looks like he's not going to, he actually ran into the minefield for some reason. I don't know why. But at least they're knocking out the Panzer headquarters, which should, I mean, that's a big blow for any Soviet player. But once again, I'm sorry, any German player. But right now, unless he calls in Overwatch support, like, his T-34s can't really hold back the Panthers. Strafing support's doing fine, but the AA... Oh, actually, no, they're actually not activating AA in the sector. Okay, that's weird. KV flamethrower just deal with the infantry. Penal troops rushing on in. A couple satchels. Could possibly hold it off. I just hear my brother saying, shoot it in the background. I'm just like, is this Jurassic Park? Anyway, so good counterattack from the Soviets, and actually a ton of manpower too. So even though he lost some men, he could oh my god, he's still walking through the minefield. Get a minesweeper. Mines and a minesweeper is your biggest problem, Lieutenant. I'm just pointing that out. But that was a good counterattack down south. It actually dislodged a lot of the Germans back to their base. And now Overwatch is back to being operational. So if the Panthers come in to try to overwhelm the Soviet forces here, they might not necessarily have a ton of AT, even though I see all the penal troops with PTRS rifles and whatnot, or like a very powerful anti-tank or heavy tank that can fight armor. But that Overwatch can really just level the playing field and make those Panthers seem insignificant. Plus, this KV is just burning all the infantry, and I love that. Meanwhile, this thing is moving up to heal or do something. Oh, building more flak emplacements to guard this point over here. Flamethrower just pushing him back. Again, good job on the Soviet player, just holding his own. Right now, though, the Germans are pushing south, and this is where mines would be great because you could literally get them on key choke points like here, here, over here, here, and you could have stopped all these squads from moving in. But looks like the Soviet player's like, fuck it, we're now going north, which may be a good or bad thing, especially with those T-34s in desperate need for some repairs, some more than others. But hey, it's at least killing some more German forces, which is exactly what they need. There's an artillery piece up here, which all you need to do is walk something over here to really do something. Another centaur. Why are you getting centaurs? Why? If this British player wins, it's because of his tenacity to throw units away, and it's also his really weird ability to somehow get awesome grenade hits. That's the only reason. So, in the meantime, the Soviet player sent his forces, and dare I say, actually doing decently well. Now, unfortunately, the enemy is getting almost Soldaten, which can overwhelm a lot of the penal troops with better fire, but, you know, it could be better. Could be a lot better. Any case. Yeah, probably gonna need to retreat some of those men. Do you have medics? Yes, you do. Good, good, good. I'm just making sure because some players don't. Anyway, KB Flamethrower deciding, yeah, I'm just gonna burn them. And holy shit, I almost thought I one-shotted, but decent T-34 shot just pushing them back. That one T-34, by the way, has 30 kills. He did kill 2 Soviets, but I mean that's part of the Soviet way. You have to make sure they're in line, guys. You have to make sure they're in line. But now we have 2 victory points in the hands of the Allies. But the munitions are now going back to the Germans, which, again, is a key issue. Once again, I think mines would have been great down south, but I'm not going to keep beating that drum. But it looks like the British might be sending his tank, for some reason, down south. I'm unsure why he's doing that. Again, let's double check. How much? Can I see your playtime real quick? Is that an option? No, I can't. Okay. That's a bit weird. I can't see anything, but okay. I mean, I probably couldn't. Sometimes people open it up, but I'm curious to see how much time this guy's played. Now, unfortunately, a big attack over here. This is where Overwatch is now in effect. So we did lose a KV flamethrower. You can only really get back 1 tank. But luckily, Overwatch coming in. Strafing support also coming in this sector. So artillery and air support coming in. full Soviet retreat. Yes, T-34 just slams into that Panther and say goodbye to the Panther that can't move, so the Overwatch is coming down to fuck it up. There goes the one. Oh, no, it's alive. Oh, no, never mind. I was like, it's a lot. Nope. Overwatch just fucking up the Panther and also hurting some of the infantry, too. A little bit, not much. That might have been a waste of the T-34, though. We did have, although strafing support's still coming in. Knocked out the main gun. One more strafing run, that Panther is fucked. Although it looks like we have all the Soviet forces dead. So, unfortunately, the Soviet players go... Oh, no. He lost a lot. He lost a fuck ton. German player desperately trying to retake it, but overall, they have way more men than the Allies. The Allies right now have their abilities that are currently helping them out a lot. Half-track coming in. Again, good idea. Kind of resupply the guys on the front to keep it going. They only need to hold the stars for a little longer. If this fucking Centaur would actually do something, for once, they might be in a better position. They're going to try desperately to grab that. Unfortunately, oh, they have anti-air. Cool. We have artillery coming in from literally over here that for some reason neither side has gotten. Okay. Centaur might actually fight the Puma, which would be epic. But no, he's going to go into the base? Is this an AI? This is not an AI. Okay, good. At least the Centaur killed it. So that's positive. Artillery's coming down the British, though. Why are you fighting in the base? They still have armor. They actually have, both of them now have a Panther still. And a decent amount of infantry. Not a lot, but they still have a decent amount of infantry. This is getting stupid. Now the Centaur needs to get the fuck out of there before the Germans decide, hey, we have two Panthers. They only have a Centaur. Let's advance. Get a fucking crocodile. Get it. Do it. That's probably the best decision you'll make all games. Get that crocodile. Anyway, German strafing support coming in. They're desperately trying to capture these points. I'm assuming what the Soviets might do is, or the Germans might do is just capture. I know he's sending a lot of men up north. He really needs to send something down south. I know there's a Fallschirmjäger squad hiding, waiting, but... Oh, good. At least he has enough fuel where he's getting additional armor and forces. Half-track probably needs to pull back because the Panther's probably going to fuck him up. And I honestly see probably a German victory unless the Allies can get creative and capture some victory points. But, again, we'll see what happens. I don't want the Germans to win because they've been not memey, but they've also not been great this entire game. They've been okay. But Lieutenant's just been on point throughout this game. More Overwatch coming in. Again, Panther's still firing at them, so as long as that happens, the artillery will start raining down upon them. Panther, this one's realizing, fuck it, I've learned my lesson. I'm out. Peace. Artillery still coming down. Probably not the best spot, as we can see with this round area, to place that, but I probably would have pushed it a little bit more closer to their lines. They're really focusing up north. I feel like the Soviet player would be better off in the south to capture that territory. And like I said, well, we'll see. Good satchel managed to push him back, but the flag placement is going to stop them from really doing anything. He's lost a lot of manpower. That excess manpower he stored up is pretty much all gone at this point. There is a Panther still in the area they have to watch out for, and Overwatch is no longer taking effect. So that T-34 can't fight a Panther. It's not the 85 area, it's 76, so they're in definitely a tight spot. I think them sending one unit down over here would have won them the game. The Soviets the game, if they can do that. Satchel on that thing would be great. Yep, we have satchels going out. Peter's rifle also being made. That Panther's going to be fucked. T-34 should probably pull off the back. Great satchel. Did hurt some of the infantry, but doesn't matter. Why is this Vickers moving on up? It's like, Jesus Christ, man. Strafing support coming on in, though. Should easily hold back the infantry and also hold back the armor. So, nice job in that regard. Anyway, T-34 is moving on in. Flak emplacement opening fire, trying to shoot down some planes. Again, problem with Air Force call-ins, they can be shot down by AA. But luckily, good grenade managed to stop that Panther, and a decent airstrike managing to push it back. Looks like the Soviets are capturing the south. They just need to hold this spot for a little longer and send all their forces up here. Don't move the Vickers. Now I'm telling you not to move it. Okay, never mind. Artillery's coming down. You have the right to move it. They do have zeroing, though, so zeroing artillery in this sector could force the Axis, obviously the Allies, off the point and allow the Axis to win. It's going to be the skit. Oh my god, straight support. That Panther is going to be crippled for quite some time. And this one still has the damage engine. So, really, the only way I see this is if a infantry push happens in this sector and take it. Oh, please let the Germans, not the Germans, the Soviets win. Oh god. Oh god, all this coming in. Stay there. Throw a satchel, actually. Force him to retreat. Force him to retreat. He's wasted so much munitions on those abilities. Okay. As long as you stay on this point for... Oh, good satchel. Just stay on this point for as long as humanly possible. Just please. Just stay on the point. Just stay on the point. Please. Stay on the point! Hold the line! Satchel going out. I think you guys won it. I'm going to say you guys won it. Just hold the line. Just hold. Hold! Oh my god, and they died for the fucking motherland. Holy crap. Oh, they won the game. The Allies should not have won that. I mean, okay, the Germans should not have lost that. What am I saying? You guys sucked. You had giant blobs of infantry. You couldn't coordinate effectively. The Allies, okay, Soviet player was better. Mines would have been definitely a huge improvement, but overall, holy crap. That lieutenant literally carried the victory across the finish line with 2 broken fucking legs. Yeah, this British guy fucking sucked. I have no idea what you're doing. You had so much fuel. You could have got Crocodile. You could have gone other Churchill variants. You could have gotten a lot of things, but you just chose not to. And you wasted so many support equipment through the defense up here. You did okay, but you were essentially the AI just throwing stuff. But dear Lord, Lieutenant, good job. Holy fuck. Well, it looks like I got both. I got a great player having great skill mixed in with a terrible player with terrible skill. Oh my god. It's like a dark comedy. It's essentially a dark comedy in a horror film. That's pretty much where it goes. Where you're laughing one moment and then you're freaking out the next moment. And that's how I can see it. Some great plays by Soviet player with the defense here. Germans were essentially doing wave-based tactics, which is something I see more likely on the Soviet angle. But no, the Soviets actually did let's double check here. Yeah, overall, the Soviets didn't lose many men. Like, overall, they actually had a decent KD for a Soviet player. This guy wasted so much. I'm actually surprised he did as much damage. But again, like, he didn't remand the flak emplacement. Like, simple stuff. The best thing Stefan had going for him was the fact that Germans would blob so much a grenade would wipe out half their men. Yeah, the Germans were kind of just and even their damage is so close together, they kind of merged together, honestly. Neither one did something, like, astoundingly great. They both were just kind of bland. Maybe Stoic had better unit preservation, but again, I could also say that he mostly fought up north against the British guy, who honestly sucked. Also, thank God Lieutenant captured all the munitions, because the airstrikes they kept calling in, the artillery strikes, really saved the Allies once again. But guys, that's it. I want to thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you like, subscribe. This has been Greyshot17 reminding you to submit those replays, and I'll see you all next time. Hello everyone, this is Greyshot17. Before I go, I want to give a special shout out to Patreon supporters Ace, Joe Foley, Joey G, JP Vaal, jrchicklis, Manuel, Mark Cataly, Milam, Ollie, Onlyplayapples, Pyroshark, Rifle, Sebastian Marzalik, sgtMcPain, Streakingwookie, Toussaint, WhiteHotD, Aaron Yee, Jordan Savat, Leo Liu, Nathan, Angus, and Tim. Thank you again for your incredible support. You all rocked. It's been Greyshot17, and I'll see you all next time.